fire stick of Valkyrie, Milzy, and Zerg. Mate, I absolutely cannot wait. I hope it's not a 300-17 like we saw in the Yakuza Clovers match. But the thing I think I'm most interested for as we do load in is who is going to get the server.
Yeah, no, that's going to be a really, really interesting thing. But the thing I like about this game type for Game 1, obviously we saw it in the others winners bracket semi-final when it was very, very one-sided in the Yakuza versus Clovis series. But I'm hoping and I'm expecting this will be a bit more of a kind of closely contested affair. And I think this map is going to be a map that both teams will be comfortable on. I'd say predominantly both teams' rosters are filled with kind of HCS competitive players, not a lot of kind of BTB specialists on either of the rosters like we saw in the last winners bracket semi-final. And except for the Ghost on this map, there's not a lot of kind of heavy vehicle play. Obviously, you've kind of got your Warthogs, etc., but there's no Banshees, there's no Wraiths to my knowledge, so I'm expecting to see a lot of kind of close quarters arena warfare, and maybe we can see some effective use of these vehicles like we're seeing now from Barcode, already 4-0 in this Warthog. That's a killing spree already for Barcode, and I think I'm not used to seeing Barcode in the back of a turret, but he looks more than comfortable there, and Scoopmeister as well, the kind of ANZ mouse and keyboard demon, is in the driver's seat. This is a legendary duo right now in this Warthog, but super strong start here from ANZ's greatest, and they're already off to a 25-0 lead in the Strongholds game, and some really good slays. Barcode 7-0 to start the game.
Yeah, what 8-0, what a start from him. I tell you, it is, yeah, Scoopmeister with the 5 assists. We often wonder, as someone just get absolutely murdered, we do, by that Warthog, we do always wonder, right? Sometimes people get a crazy amount of assists, and it's like, where are they getting these from? Well, it helps if you're the driver, as Barcode is gonna find Zed Mighties. We talked this up, and it is going to be Barcode, who is 9-0. Can he find that killing frenzy? There is that turret you were talking about. Can he find the kill? No, he's been left. He is going to find the killing frenzy, even though he's got no driver. Man's been left on his own. Scoopmeister getting killed. They are going to blow up that Warthog so no one else can get it. We are going to be on board with the Aussie sensation as he is 10-0, but we're switching over to the side of Jump Out Gang. 67-10 so far, and the Jump Out Gang making a bit of a comeback here. Zer with 7 kills as well. Mighties is going to be 4-2. Yeah, Scoopmeister 6-6. Barcode eventually going to go down at 11-1. But 67-26, and as a lot of Jump Out Gang are going to be sent to the respawn screen. Has this started as you predicted, mate?
You know, really, really strong start from ANZ Greatest. And I'll be honest, I didn't really know what to expect going into this series. I think, like I say, both these teams have such strong kind of arena-style HCS players that I didn't really know whose team would maybe be like more favoured in a BTB environment. But it's nice to see that Barcode and Scoob very early on in this game really embracing the whole BTB dynamic, going straight for that Warthog. And we saw that kind of big spree they went on their Warthog. Barcode getting a killing frenzy in the turret really did result in a really strong early lead for ANZ's Greatest. But it seems like now that Barcode did get taken down and Jump Out Gang have had a little bit more time to kind of get comfortable on the map, they do now find themselves with the triple cap, and ANZ's Greatest, they got to be careful here, because if they can't break this soon, these points do start to rack up very, very quickly. We see Zer on the side of Jump Out Gang currently 10-4 in this game, so a really, really strong start for him. And it seems like ANZ's Greatest, they do cap that C stronghold, so able to slow down the bleeding a little bit, but the 2 cap is still in control here for Jump Out Gang, and you can see those points at the bottom of your screen slowly ticking up. Mighties with the overkill off screen, we didn't catch that, but huge plays by Mighties, and that's the kind of stuff he's capable of. Now 10-3 in a game. I think he's got the Stalker Rifle as well, so very scary player on the map. And it seems like now that Jump Out Gang have had a little bit of time to maybe get comfortable on the map and kind of find their bearings, they are now starting to put some of these kills together. Kimber having a bit of a slow game, but like we said, Mighty's having a very, very fast game. So Shabby as well with the shotgun, and it can kind of be a very snowbally game type of Stronghold. Both teams kind of taking it in turns to have control. We see Davini here with the overshield just getting absolutely melted by the turret, but is he able to secure this kill? And the turret play is getting double teamed. He does get taken out. Big bait and switch there, but yeah, like we said, really nice job here by Jump Out Gang to bounce back in this game. They are now opening up to a bigger and bigger lead.
Yeah, Kimbo with the back slap to put that down. But Mighty's 15-3. Shabby Dagger on a triple kill by the looks of it as well. Yeah, look, they might be heading towards a trip cap. A sticker is going to find Jexer. You can see that there is the shroud down here. He is going to try and find this kill. It is going to be cleaned up. And Mighty's 17-3, leading the EU Superstars towards victory at the moment. But having said that, they very, very briefly had a trip cap for ANZ, led by Barcode. Well, I don't know if they're led. We're going to call them led by Barcode because it just looks better. But they find A and B and they start to pull it back. 153-85. A much, much closer game than we saw earlier in the Yakuza game. So I'm glad of that. Oh, it's going to be a beautiful back smack by Brainiac onto Man of Chicken. Moosa's going to get a headshot as well. Moosa's going to find two. Shabby Dagger's going to get Divinity. They are going to cap A because actually ANZ's greatest. They had a triple cap. But now one is going to go down and potentially B as well as Moosa finds the double, gets the whiplash onto Barcode. And beautiful work from him. Can he find another kill? He's going to be on the killing spree before Plasma backslaps him and confirms the B and C for ANZ's greatest. But this is so tight right now. Only 30 points in it between these two teams as we approach the halfway mark for both of these teams. I mean, Jump Out Gang has already got there. But first to 300, don't forget. And it's 154 to 127 Outcast.
Yeah, like you said, no need to panic quite yet for either of these teams, and I'm really, really impressed there about ANZ's greatest. You know, we saw Jump Out Gang get that triple cap, and it seemed like they were in control for such a long time, but ANZ's greatest did a really, really good job bouncing back there, and they've now closed that gap a little bit. Jump Out Gang do currently have control, but if we look at the scoreboard, Barcode 19-11 right now, really trying to will his team to victory, but on the other side, like you said, Mighty's 18-7, so they're kind of two superstar players on either team really living up to the hype and trying their best to kind of put the team on their back and bring them towards this victory. But yeah, the slays on both teams looking pretty good. A few players having a bit of a slow game, maybe on the ANZ's greatest time, and maybe one or two on the side of Jump Out Gang, but pretty much all the players keeping up in terms of slays, and it definitely reflects in the score. Like you said, in the others winners bracket semi-final, we saw quite a one-sided Strongholds game on Apogee, but it's nice to see both these teams seem quite comfortable on this map, and as you kind of expect in Strongholds, they're all kind of taking it in turns to kind of have their little moments of control, but the score is getting a little bit open now, and on the side of ANZ's greatest, if you can't maybe flip control in your favor, it could start to get a little bit worrying if that score starts to go up and up, and currently about an 80-point lead here on the side of Jump Out Gang, so definitely not insurmountable on the side of ANZ's greatest, but you'd like to see them get control back soon. It seems like they nearly captured that A point, but it does seem to be a little bit contested at the moment, but it seems that A is going to go in the control of ANZ's greatest now. Is now a 2 cap on the side of their team, so we'll have to see how long they can hold this for. Can they close that gap and close in on those 200 points like Jump Out Gang have? But yeah, I'm loving to see how competitive this game is so far. Really, really good series.
Yeah, this is an absolute banger. And I can't believe we've at least got one more game of this. So I am super excited to see that. It is 210 to 150. It is Barcode leading the way, 22-13. The other side, Mighty's 18-9. Also with 13 assists. So most kills, most assists, doing what he can with knee mains to try and bring this in. But Shabby Dagger picks up a couple of kills to be 15-11 as well. For the side of ANZ's greatest, in fact, for both sides, they have players that they just need more out of. Man of Chicken, Beast, need more out of those guys. Valkyrie's going to find Jex there. Meanwhile, Desire, even Kimbo, they just need more. And Mighty's is going to headshot Barcode in the battle of the captains. And it does look like A is going to be able to go over for the side as Plasma's going to get killed by the big old vehicle there. Shabby Dagger's gonna find one. They're losing B back to ANZ's Graves, but Valkyrie with a double. He's gonna try and cap C. It's 213 to 168. Man of Chicken finds the back of Zed Mighty's. And Jump Out Gang, they managed to cap C, but not for very long as A looks like it could be going over to ANZ's greatest, but not if these boys have anything to say about it.
Yeah, I'd like to see here the vehicle use from Valkyrie and Sticker. We saw just how effective
Oh,
the vehicles can be right at the start of the game. We saw Barcode basically open up with a killing frenzy in the back of the turret. So it's nice to see these players maybe starting to realize the importance of the vehicles. Like we said, both rosters predominantly filled with kind of HCS style players. So maybe you'd expect them not to be able to utilize the vehicles maybe as strongly as some of our other kind of more BTB centric rosters. But I think both the teams, as they kind of get into this game, are going to realize just how big of an impact these vehicles can have, and especially the Ghost, getting in that Warhog, it can maybe be the difference maker in flipping control in these fights. But both these teams doing such a good job at rotating these strongholds. Neither team have kind of got in that position where they've been stuck in a setup and not able to break out. Both doing very, very good pushes to kind of break control, and you can see how reflected that is in the scoreline. It's such a tight game. Like you said, first to 300 points. Jump Out Gang are slowly starting to close in on that amount, but ANZ's greatest also not far behind. If they can just get maybe one of those triple caps in, maybe one of those two caps, we saw earlier in the other winners bracket semi-final just how deadly that control can be if you can get the appropriate setup. But it seems like both these teams are doing such a good job at not letting the others kind of hold them down to a setup for a super prolonged period of time. And like you said, take another look at the scoreboard. Barcode still leading the way with 25. Mighties gets his second overkill of this game one. It's so impressive from him. He finds himself with his stalker rifle again. He's so good at controlling this weapon. He's really putting it to use, and this is getting scary now, friends. He's greatest. They're only 40 points away from losing this game one, and Mighty's is pushing for the triple cap as well with the stalker rifle. This could be over very soon.
yeah, beautiful work with the trip cap off the back of that overkill. Nemains is going to find a nade kill as well. They're going to start losing A, but they're going to reclaim it. It's now 287. It's 289. It's 290. And it's going to be ANZ's greatest. They're trying to cap C, but it's not going to matter unless they can get on A or B. It's one. It's done. It's Jump Out Gang 1-0. Mighty's 27 and 13. Barcode 25 and 20. An absolutely incredible effort from both of those guys. But in the end, is the EU that is too strong. And it is going to be Jump Out Gang going 1-0 up in this winners semi-final. But my, oh my, that was incredibly close.
Yeah, no, that was a great game. That's exactly what I was kind of hoping to see. We saw the other winners bracket semi-final be maybe a little bit more one-sided than we expected. So it's nice to see both these teams playing at their peak and really pushing each other to the limit. And I mean, I'm surprised at just how exciting BTB Strongholds can be. That was really fun to watch, and it was nice to see a little bit of vehicle usage from both teams. But there was just so many big fights going down the map. I think very, very well suited for the game type. So yeah, that was a really, really good game, and I'm gonna be excited to see. I'm just gonna take a quick look to see what game 2 is gonna be, just to double check.